I'm going to make a video today. You're going to need a couple things. First, the main thing you're going to need is a computer with a graphics card, so at least a 1050 or higher, 1050 Ti or higher. To get the best performance, I recommend, if you want to basically do it on a budget, 1660 Super, or if you want to go a little bit higher end, you can go for 3070 or 3060 or 3060 Ti. That's all you really need. It has to be basically run 24/7, so the lower the power, the better. So what you need to do is install Steam and have it running in the background, and then enable Steam Remote Play, make it fast or whatever your bandwidth actually supports. So whatever your internet can handle, your internal internet can handle, and you also need a software called Steam ROM Manager, which I have right there. And then you also need an Xbox controller. Take out your batteries and put in this one right here. However you hook it up, if you hook it up via Bluetooth or wireless to the other device it's being hooked to, you should take out the batteries. If you're using a Steam Link, take out the batteries. And if you're just using a Google Chromecast, Google TV, Fire TV, anything that can run Steam Link on there, you don't need the actual Steam Link. Or if you're using a Steam Link, you need this cable or a data cable. You plug this data cable into your computer, but you just plug it in to have it prepared. After you have Steam installed, you're logged in and everything. You install Steam ROM Manager, open it up, and then once you open it up, you get this, and you basically have to put into the folder over here. If you're doing GameCube, I'm showing you specifically GameCube. So you have to put in the configuration title GameCube, Steam category GameCube, and then the executable, you load up Dolphin. Also, you will need Dolphin. You put Dolphin into a directory where you can find it easily. I put mine on my C drive in a folder called Apps, and then you also then put your ROMs onto either SSD or a faster hard drive. I recommend putting it on SSD if you don't have that many ROMs. Get the ROM from either ripping disk or wherever you decide to get them from. Then you basically go to a Steam directory. You go to where your Steam is installed. Then here you put you put the $, these brackets right here. It will be title. You can find it if you click on, I forgot how you do it, but basically as long as your keyboard has those symbols right there, it's just easier to type. The $, this sign, which is basically just shift, the letter next to P, and this letter and the key next to that if it's on a full-size keyboard. And then you put in a period, at symbol, what's that, this, I just put there, parenthesis, ISO, line, image, parenthesis, and then under here, you put that, and you can find that just by clicking on the, what's it called, the parser type right there. And you have to make it sure it says glob up here, and then you will get this right here. You go to Dolphin, and if you go to Dolphin, you add this and this by clicking this here. Then you press save. From there, you go to preview, and then after you go to preview, it will say generate list, and it'll generate the list of what you just made with all your emulators in there, and then you press save. And then after that, you have to make sure you have Steam closed before doing any of that. And then once you load it, they'll be on your Steam account in your Steam library. And they'll be, for example, like there's Metroid Prime, which is a game I have on there. So after that, you basically can launch Steam Big Picture. I mean, you can launch Steam Remote Play on here. I mean, you can launch. You basically make sure you have to have the Steam Link app installed, and then after you have everything installed for the Steam Link app, you basically take the controller cable, plug it into your controller right here, and then you link it up to your Steam account. After you actually plug the controller in and make sure it's detected in Steam. And then after it's detected in Steam, you go to where you have your actual games. I mean your emulator located at, which is in my Z drive. And you go to apps, then or wherever you have it located. Then you load Dolphin. And once you load Dolphin, this is how it will look, because you can just launch the game from actually Steam. And then once you load Dolphin, you go to Tools. You go to Tools, and then you set the GameCube memory card as then you set a memory card for actually GameCube/Wii. Then you go to Graphics. Then you set it to whatever card you have. Then in this case, this one is a 1660 Super. And then you select it to DirectX 11. I mean Direct 3D 11 or DirectX 11 or DirectX 12. I'm using 11 because it's less CPU intensive. And then you can turn on VSync, but it'll lower down the actual emulation speed. You can start it in full screen. I don't have it started in full screen because those Steam Big Pictures are already in full screen. Then you can show FPS not needed. Then you can turn on enhancements and hacks if you want to, like upscaling the resolution to 4K, for example. But I recommend just putting it at 1080p or 720 because Steam Link can only detect up to 1080p. So after that, you press close, and then after that, you go to the configuration page. But first, you make sure the emulation starts at the resolutions you want, and then after that you load up the configuration, go to interface, and then go down to where it says confirm on stop, uncheck that, and once you go to confirm on stop, uncheck that, you press close, and then from actually there you go to hotkey, and if you're using an Xbox controller, they have a back button. Press the back button to exit, and it'll exit out of Steam Big Picture mode. When you press the back button or the exit button on Dolphin, it will exit out of the emulator. You just press, you basically make sure it's set to X input gamepad. That's why you have to plug it in here first, so you can set this as back. And after you do that, you can go over here to where it says save and load, and then you can basically have it set to shoulder R or whatever button you aren't using, and then you press close. Then you go to here and go to controller settings, and then you make sure it says standard controller, and make sure it's set to X input mode. And then once it's set to X input mode, you basically press A button for the A button on Xbox specifically. You press the A B is B, X is X, Y is Y. You can set it up however you want. This is how I did it for this control for this. And the Z button is the L shoulder button, and the D-pad is just a D-pad. The left stick for the GameCube controller I put as the left stick for the Xbox controller, and the right stick or the C stick I put as right controller. And then the triggers I put left right triggers, and press save it, and I save the profile as Steam controller. Steam Xbox controller, Xbox Steam controller, I think. And then I press save, close, and then after that, you basically have that set up. Then you have that. Then you can close Dolphin, and then you can close any other folders you have open. And you can either keep a screen connected to like this computer, or you can just have a HDMI dummy plug so you can get full speed. I recommend just keeping a secondary monitor plugged in, so if you need to have access to like restart or do any kind of other computer related stuff, you can basically have a monitor hooked up. And then from actually there, you just turn off your monitor or however you do it. And then however you have it, if you have it set to a screensaver, you can just let it sit there and it'll go to screensaver eventually. So now let me show you what it would turn out like. Make sure whatever you had it connected to originally, make sure you resync it first, the Xbox controller. And so launch the Steam Link app, and it basically will show your server. I have the controller on, and so I tried it once with Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Press play or starting it. It starts Steam and Steam Big Picture mode, and then you go down to where it says games, or there, click there, and where it says filter games, this is kind of hard with one hand, you click on remote optimize, and then you have all of them here. Dolphin is just there for now. I might have to remove that, but I'm just gonna do Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. So this is the one I've tried. Haven't tried any other ones, but press A, and then you press play, and then it should load. It will be a little bit, there will be a little bit of latency, but for games like Pokemon, but not like games like Smash, I wouldn't play this with Smash because of it'd be too much latency. So, and now, Pokemon XD is loading, and it has a little bit of, as you can see, Pokemon XD Gale Darkness. Press A, it loads, and then see. And so now all the buttons work. And so to exit out, I'm just gonna press the back button, and it exit me back to the actual thing. It likes me back out to Steam Big Picture. You can do this with most of the other games too. So the only thing I have to do now is basically, because I couldn't get the icons working for some reason, but I'm just going to put Pokemon XD Gale Darkness icon on there, and I'm going to put Pokemon Coliseum and some other games on there. So icons for this, and when I press back, I'm going to try another one. Let's just say Pokemon Coliseum, and because I haven't tried this one yet, because these are the two main games I want to play on the TV, and I can still have my another setup, another way of recording them. I'm not going to be recording them this way because that would be too much latency. So Pokemon Coliseum is loading now, and as you can see, it's loading in Steam. And Pokemon Company. Sorry about the shadow. I haven't tried with any other emulators because of this is like the only one I actually don't have a console of is the GameCube because of the games um that aren't open because I have the games unopened but I prefer to keep them closed because they were kind of hard to find. But and um yeah, so there's that. I just press back, and as you can see, I can just play my games on there. And if you ever need to restart the server or shut it down, you can basically press start and then shut down. I'll actually show you what you can do. So this is what you can do because if you don't want to have it running all the time or you're not running other services on the computer, you can basically press shut down. And it's still available. So this is going to be the last part. So um, I'm going to basically pause the thing when it and turn it back on once it finishes. Literally, that only took like 3 more seconds. But as you can see, it is off. So if I wanted to, as long as you have Wake on Land enabled, you literally can just go. You can basically press start, and it will say connecting to your whatever you call your server, and then wherever you have it at, it's basically gonna to boot as long as you have Wake on Land enabled, which this computer should have it on there by default. Most computers should have it on by default. But this works with any computer as long as you're using like I don't know if it works with Mac OS, but as long as it's any Windows PC, it should work, and or any PC in general. And as you can see, I'm just holding it here while it just takes a little bit of time to start up because it has to boot because I have a RAID controller in there and it has to boot the RAID controller, so it boots to BIOS, then to the RAID controller, then the BIOS, and then the Windows. And once Windows boots, it has to load Steam. And so, if you don't have the RAID controller in there, it'll boot faster. And especially if you have an SSD in there, it'll boot even faster. And as long as the SSD is not in a if it's an NVMe, it should boot even faster. But my NVMe is in a adapter. So I'm going to pause it. Is that so? I'm just gonna tell you now. Alexa, what time is it? It's 5:43 a.m. It should be turning on right now. Nope, not yet. Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, what time is it? It's 5:45, so it's 5:35, so I'm sorry about the echo response time. I'm using a different kind of echo. I'm using a Sonos one. Doesn't respond that nicely, but it took it took 10 minutes because of for some reason my wake on LAN is disabled and it didn't boot up automatically. So, and this machine literally stays on 24/7 anyway, so, and all I have to do is log out with the controller, and all I have to do is basically press the B button on the controller, and then go up to the little here, and then press stop remote play, and then it won't remote play anymore. And then when I want to remote play again, it would basically start up again. The only difference is it won't remote play if you RDP onto this computer with basically if you RDP onto that computer or remote desktop protocol onto the computer with another computer, it won't basically start in-home streaming or remote play because of it would have an issue because of it's just some weird Windows thing. I haven't figured out why. Because it logs out of the machine with the remote desktop protocol and it won't let you control it. When it's logged out, it says there's an issue, and so you have to basically shut down the computer. Restart the computer from the remote system before it'll log back in, and or you just go to the computer itself. But if it's a headless machine, you have to press Control Alt F4 and it'll exit all folders. Then you basically press the down button, your down key, in order to restart, to go to restart, and then a restart, and then you can do Steam and home streaming again. That's why I have a monitor hooked up, and just in case I need to restart and or log back in without the need to restart the computer because it takes forever to restart. But as you can see, that's how I set up the thing, Steam and home streaming with Dolphin emulator, and this is the latest version of Dolphin that was like 6.0.15 something, I think it was, and it just works now. Because I was having an issue trying to get Steam working with Dolphin, and the issue was finally fixed where now it just boots. Okay, thanks for watching.